Alright, we are live. I couldn't go live yesterday because I had to deliver Christmas gifts to people an hour and 15 minutes away. Yeah, I was, pretty busy. But we're here now, and fortunately, we are playing a shorter game as in Pokemon Crystal, so if I do get a first stage, it's not that bad. Hey, Shadow. Yep, Crystal today. The video was with, Porygon. And with updates on Daily December, tomorrow will be the part 2 of the Emerald Deoxys videos with normal versus speed form. I had no idea Scott was going to make his own version. I literally had no idea. But we definitely did do some different strats. And then the Christmas Eve video will be yellow with Cloyster. And then there's a special video planned for Christmas. Anyway. One Pokemon. Kanto and Johto. If it's a first stage, it's not a big deal. Oh my goodness. We've got a powerhouse. I'm just checking. You know, I have not played with it yet. I have played with this thing in Ruby and Sapphire, though. And the Rock Gym really held it back, but there is no Rock Gym. I'm not kidding. As soon as I said I don't mind a first stage, I was really expecting Teddy Ursa or something. But to be fair, Teddy Ursa would be very good too. Scratch, Lick, Leer, and Fury Swipes. That's a pretty decent starting set. Bane Attack at 22. What's our 130 attack, 55 speed? Its speed isn't the best, but then again, this is Johto. Speed isn't as big of an issue until you get to Lance and Red. But yeah, I can definitely see we're going to go with Curse for sure. But to also be fair, we don't have another type of move, like this thing doesn't have agility. Curse agility would be so great for this thing. But I'm predicting for Red, our moveset's going to be Return, Curse with Quick Claw, and probably Rest as well. And knowing Red, against normal types, he always goes in team order, so Espeon will be second, which obviously would not be a good thing to set up on. But with how great our attack is, maybe we could get to a point where we could potentially one-shot the Espeon without setup, but that might be a lot to ask for. Let's take a look at the RBY XP router. Zap Cannon. Protect for Pikachu? I think so, yeah. Protect is really good for avoiding a turn 1 charm. Alright, so yeah, for Gen 1 and Gen 2... For Gen 1 and Gen 2, we don't use Kingler Calc because the calculations always assume you have maximum stat experience, which this thing will not do. But here's what we'll do. We'll load a new route for Crystal. What? Okay, before I put in the DVs, what hidden power typing do you guys think we're going to go with? Let's see if Scott has done a run. I really like the channel search feature. Ursaring and Heart Gold. Okay, that Ursaring video was from 2 years ago. I mean, it could be fine. Let's just look at his second run for some ideas.
Since day one, Pokemon game.
Let's take a look-see. Alright, here's, why did that run skip straight to blue? Is this must be still the first playthrough. I'll check out Snowy's too. Yeah, okay, it looks like this is still the first playthrough. Oh yeah, this is the first playthrough. I guess I mistook the splits. Hey, John's alt account. You know, fun fact, in Gold and Silver, Ursaring and Donphan were version exclusives. I think Donphan was silver, Ursaring was gold, but then in the remakes they swapped it. Pretty strange. Dude, look how much smaller his tier list was back then. Wow. Alright, let's take a look at here.
That I could maybe shave off another minute or two. Now, if you wondered if Ursaring was going to be filmed at a different time, don't worry, I filmed Ursaring the day after I filmed this Donphan playthrough. They were filmed intentionally in close proximity to each other to ensure that these results would be fair. And now, to close this video out, let's talk about the bear. The first thing I need to say about it is that it doesn't need hidden power, so I'm going with hidden power dark to ensure that Ursaring has perfect stats. The second thing I'll mention is a cute factoid, the fact that I taught Slash during the game. This was just kind of conveniently available to me when Headbutt was starting to lose out on effectiveness, and I was also about to get Return. I like using more unique moves like this if I can, and Johto usually prevents me from doing that. Don't worry, soon enough the Generation 2 Gravity, which is basically like a black hole, pulls me back towards Return. And with it, Dig, Rest, and Ice Punch, I make my way to the lead. Unlike with Donphan, I cannot use my rare candies now, I need them for red. Ursaring has an absolutely terrible time against him. I cannot emphasize that enough. I am convinced this Pokemon would be able to get a time convincingly under 1 hour and 10 minutes if it was a normal ground type. Apparently what I'm suggesting is that I really need to do an Ursaluna playthrough in Pokemon Crystal, and yeah, after this video, that is a backport that I think about regularly. Maybe I'll do a versus video with Ursaluna versus Blood Moon Ursaluna in Pokemon Crystal at some point. Let me know if you think that would be fun. I'm facing Lance now, and he is not a problem for Ursaring. If you're wondering why I don't have Thunder Punch, it's just because Return does enough damage to the Pokemon that Thunder Punch is good against anyways. Essentially, I'm just going to use Return and Ice Punch.
It just seems like Ice Punch is the only punch this thing really needs.
In this case, it gets its maximum damage critting with Hyper Beam.
Punch would only really be good for the Lake of Rage Gyarados.
It crits with Rock Slide turn 1 and then crits with Hyper Beam on turn 2. But as you will be aware, that is very unlikely. So yeah, no resets when I defeat Lance. And while I watch the footage of the blue fight, I get really sad because Ursaring just crushes him. I don't need to use Rest. I'm also not using the leftovers intentionally so that I don't waste time on frames healing my health. It is so rare that I reach blue with a Pokemon that can absolutely stomp him this easily. That brings us to red, and this is where things are really sad for Ursaring. I tested for a very long time to try and figure out what the optimal play was here, and in the end, there has to be some luck involved. Ursaring is going to have to be able to tank a Thunder followed by Espeon's Psychic, and then one hit from Snorlax's Body Slam. If it can do all of that, then it's able to heal and move on to the final 3 Pokemon, which still pose a threat even if it's low. If Venusaur goes for Sunny Day, then the Charizard will deal between 54 and 64% damage. In this fight I'm playing well, plus red is not. He goes for Solar Beam on Venusaur, so Charizard does less damage. I finish it off, and with higher health, the Blastoise is not looking for the KO right away, so it sets up Rain Dance, and Ursaring defeats it. Locking in with a final time of...
I'm kind of fascinated he went with leftovers here. Like, if you're going with Rest, it would generally make more sense to go with Quick Claw. I'm going to go back to the start of the red fight without fast-forwarding. Possibly Fire Punch. Oh, you're absolutely right. He probably used Dig for Jasmine. Or maybe he did taught Fire Punch and he just skipped over that.
Easily. That brings us to red, and this is where things are really sad for Ursaring. I tested for a very long time to try and figure out what the optimal play was here, and in the end, there has to be some luck involved. Ursaring is going to have to be able to tank a Thunder followed by Espeon's Psychic, and then one hit from Snorlax's Body Slam. If it can do all of that, then it's able to heal and move on to the final 3 Pokemon, which still pose a threat even at this level. If Venusaur goes for Sunny Day, then the Charizard will deal between 54 and 64% damage. In this fight I'm playing well, plus red is not.
I think Venusaur only goes for Sunny Day if Solar Beam doesn't one-shot.
I finish it off, and with higher health, the Blastoise is not looking for the KO right away, so it sets up Rain Dance, and Ursaring defeats it. Locking in with a final time.
Yeah, Protect is going to be a valuable move for this thing. Alright, back to this. Alright, so yeah, let's go perfect stats. And remember, this is the generic route. This assumes, this basically assumes you didn't fight any spinners and you used no vitamins. So we're going to go ahead and add some things to it. Let's see. Return in the place of Scratch. That's the only thing I really need to add right now. Okay. And, I'll add Curse as well, just so we can see it clearly. Alright, Curse, Return. I think with Rest, there's no point for leftovers. Use Quick Claw. Because the Quick Claw could prevent you from needing to get hit by, Snorlax. Alright, then TM 18? Oh, no. 13? 12? 11? Or, wait. Oh, 17. That's Protect. Angel eggnog cookies. I'm not an eggnog person. Alright, so, yep, that's our moveset. So, let's see. By default, look at that. By default, 87 to 103%. And Scott was level 73, which I don't know if 73 is too high. I don't think he did much optional training. I think he just grabbed every rare candy. Let's just assume 70. Guaranteed one shot on the Espeon, but the disadvantage is we will underspeed it. And I don't think Carboses are going to affect that. We look at a pre-state event. Alright, so we're going to have 145 speed. And I think the asterisk means badge boost. Yeah, because special defense doesn't have it. So we are never outspeeding Espeon. So basically what we can do is we can protect turn 1 to block Charm. And then it might go for Thunder doing a third. And then Psychic will deal about 43%. So we'll probably be at a third HP for the Snorlax. That would put Body Slam in a range to kill, but if it can't detect a one-shot, it will go for Amnesia first, and that'll be our opportunity to set up some curses. Because if we use one curse... Yeah, if we use one curse, Body Slam only does like a fifth. And then we could use another curse and it does less, then we can rest up. And look at this. With two curses... Wait, hold on, let me make sure it's just two. Yeah, with one curse, we don't one-shot the Blastoise or the Venusaur most of the time, but two curses is a guaranteed. And this is assuming no protein. So here's the question. Should we use 2 proteins on red, or should we buy protein while we buy the return TM? And that way we might only need one curse. Because if we only need one curse, then that'll reduce the amount of RNG. Let's just try it. Alright, let me go to the radio tower. Alright, normally my average vitamin buy is 5 proteins. Just get the 2 overworld proteins. What would those be? Rocket Hideout and... Ice Path? Yeah, Ice Path. Yeah, just grab those 2 then. So what if we made our vitamin of the day Carbos? It's not going to make a difference, I don't think. It could potentially make a difference for some earlier fights. Let's see if it does, actually. I want to look at Lance. Out, 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 under, out, out. So we outspeed all of those at 55. But if we get rid of the Carbos... Outspeed, 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 underspeed, outspeed, outspeed. Okay, yeah, so the Carbos do not help for Lance at all. Maybe Calcium for Lance. Why would we want Calcium for Lance? Dude, by default, Surf is doing like 17% of our health. I guess let me go ahead and add return to this thing just so we can look. Let's see, return one shot. Dragonite has to be a 2-shot. Oh, wait, Ice Punch. Duh. Hold on. Return. I should probably add return as well. Let's see. Return, 1-shot. Ice Punch, 1-shot, 1-shot. Ice Punch on Aerodactyl is a 2-shot, but its Rock Slide doesn't do that much. But we can just hold a Quick Claw for that fight. And then Charizard, 1-shot with Return. Dragonite, 1-shot with Ice Punch. Okay, yeah, so no proteins. Well, wait. Did I add the 2 overworld protein? Alright, I'm going to add protein where the natural proteins are. Route 44 and Team Rocket Base. These are where the 2 natural proteins are. So if we use those... Oh, look at that. Oh, wait, no, that was 2 curses. So the proteins literally do not change the math at all. I mean, the two overworld proteins probably helped at Lance because the minimum roll was 109%. But I can probably uncheck the proteins and see if they truly do matter for Lance. Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, it literally does not matter. So, honestly, this thing could probably just skip all of them. Temperature for me is 38 Fahrenheit. Although we had some really bad windstorms, which was probably caused by the warmer weather. Because we were getting so much rain. Yeah, I feel like this thing doesn't need vitamins at all. We could probably skip the vitamin buy. Because I don't think maybe random carbos could help with like one random person. But I feel like we might be wasting our time buying proteins. Hey, Ragey. Check Ice Punch ranges. One shot, one shot, one shot. 101% on the final one. That's really cutting it close. I didn't grab Hidden Power on Ursaring. I looked at Scott's run. He did not use Hidden Power either, and he did use Dig. I'm honestly going to copy his route, except for the red fight. He was using Rest and Leftovers. I feel like if you have Rest, you don't need Leftovers. Quick Claw is actually better, if you're using Curse strats. Alright, so yeah, I feel like this is pretty simple. I'm not going to look at everyone else, though. I don't want to look at every single trainer. I just want to look at the major fights. Never Melt Ice, Wood Oko. How do I test that? Oh, the hold option. Okay, hold on. %37% chance of one-shotting. That's barely meaningful. I would rather hold... Well, then again, Quick Claw would only help for Aerodactyl. But what if we buy Calcium as our vitamin of the day? Right... here. What if we buy 2 Calcium? %37% chance. Didn't help? Really? What if we buy 5? $59. Okay, so it brings it up to a 60% chance. There's one in the Dragon's Den as well. Okay, so if we add a 6th one... Oh, I didn't know if you double-click on it. Oh, I didn't know there were drop-down menus. Okay, that 6th Calcium doesn't help at all. So I think just buy like 5 Calcium from the department store, and it will help. And then for punches, we just need Ice Punch, Fire Punch, we'll need the Dig TM, and obviously Scratch into Headbutt into Return. Okay, let's go ahead and start the run. I'm just gonna have to get the Universal Pokemon Randomizer started. Almost done. Alright, so the IVs, we're not going to need to worry about a particular hidden power. We're just going to go ahead and set everything to the max. Nothing else I need to set, is there? Nope, don't think so. I think just stats. Oh, hello, Perky Penguin on Twitch. Have you gotten your soloist yet? What are you trying to ask me, Perky Penguin? What are you trying to ask me? Oh, you mean like the Pokemon I'm playing? Oh, we're playing with Ursaring. And if you want me to prove it, there. That's what was randomly decided. Oh, okay. I get what you're saying now. Oh, speaking of which, for the YouTube chat, we need to think of an over-under. Let's see. There's no way this thing's going to beat Alakazam. Or Kadabra. Kadabra's just too good. I do think... Alright, let's compare to Porygon 2. Porygon 2 was very good. Question is, will it be better than Porygon 2? I think so, because Porygon 2 does not have the best attack stat. It was mainly a special attacker. So, you know what? Isn't Ursaring... Oh, Ursaring in general is an absolute beast. It did get held back when I played the run in Pokemon Sapphire. Right down here. It got held back a bit because of the Rock-type gym leader. Also, hello, Kiwi. But yeah, I do think this will be Porygon 2. I think I'll make the over-under 110 to 113. Yeah, sorry, Perky Penguin. You'll just have to voice your opinion in the Twitch chat. What time will I beat Red at? Under a minute, under an hour 10 minutes, hour 10 to an hour 13, or over an hour 13 minutes? I always just put an over-under poll for the YouTube chat. Remember, it's not the time you think Ursaring will get. It's the time you think I will get. Those are two different things. Alright. Turn on the controller. You think it'll be in between? Maybe. It depends on where I get major reset points at, but I'm trying to think of some. Like, Scott's run from 2 years ago didn't have any reset points. Oh, you ran Alakazam? What game? I do feel like it might mess up, potentially delay its potential on a first playthrough, but I believe in the bear. The only real issue is red. Yeah, for red, we've decided that at level 70, using the 2 natural proteins you pick up in the overworld, you only need 2 curses. So we're going to hold leftovers. The trick is, we can one-shot Pikachu already. And, we one-shot Espeon, right? Without curses? Does anyone remember if we defeat the Espeon without curse? I remember without any curses, it was like, oh, we do one-shot it with the 2 proteins? We don't need to buy more proteins? I'm just double verifying this because I don't want to... Because I have a root... I have the RBYXP router recording a root file, and I don't want to have to stop the recording and double check. But I'm going to assume it does. It was like 104%. Alright, I believe you. So the vitamin of the day we need to buy are calcium. Because calcium with Never Melt Ice is going to turn the Aerodactyl from a 2-shot to like a 60% range to 1-shot. And it'd be good to not give that thing a chance to live. Okay. We ready to go? I think so. Alright, 3, 2, 1, go. Hey, Electrode. Alright, we're going to play on Sunday because we want return, obviously. And I have the time set to 4 p.m. So, I could get a Sentret as a cut user. Or in Union Cave, I could get a Sandshrew. Dude, that happens every time. I think I just keep holding turbo a little too long. Yeah, I think just kill anything I see. You just want to call it ass. No, Ursaring doesn't deserve to be called that. It's an actual good Pokemon. Especially when you can utilize its Guts ability. Like, the reason I hated playing it in Ruby and Sapphire was because you kinda needed to utilize Guts in order to beat Roxanne good. But it's really hard to consistently plan for, because you have to spam Fury Swipes. And even with Guts, you still have to hope for crits. Oh my god, this is bad encounter luck. Dude, this isn't... Dude, come on. That was bad luck. But, well, whatever. I'm not doing these runs to be scientific. I'm doing this for the sake of playing the run. I just want the run to be as vanilla as possible. I mean, early game encounters are just part of the game. Yeah, I get the feeling. Yeah, you know what I'm doing. I mean, you do your runs on actual console, which props to you. Ike. Ike was his name. Alright, come on, Sentret. I said Sentret. Darn. Yeah, there's no Sentret on the next route, so I'll just have to hope for either Bellsprout or Sandshrew. See, he basically does them completely J-Rose style. Except the difference is, it's in an actual hard game. Oh my gosh. Sometimes it's hard to use Run. You know, if I had defeated all these Pokemon, I would have ended up being level 9 before Faulkner, which would be kind of nuts. I also do kind of wonder if I should ever utilize Fury Swipes, but from what I've heard, the average amount of times that Fury Swipes lands is 3 times. And when you add up the power, it's like barely any better than Scratch. Plus, it has the downside of missing. You'd be as strong as his Pidgeotto. Probably. You know what? I'm not even going to save. I'm just going to use a potion. Let's see. He should be spamming Tackle and Gust. He should never use Mud Slap. You know, let's do 1 Fury Swipes. Okay. That was the only time we'll ever use it, so that way I can say it was perfect. Yeah, Faulkner only uses Mud Slap when you resist normal moves. At least on his Pidgey. Or if you're weak to ground. Alright, Paralysis Berry, I might want that. Alright, so if I don't find a Bellsprout in here, then in the Union Cave, I'll have to stick around until I find a Sandshrew. Okay, that was kind of an accident, but, oh well, he's good XP. Yeah, I know it's based on what's the most damage, but you can sorta judge it on effective power, too. Like, sort of. I know it's not completely accurate, but you get what I'm trying to say, right? Nope. Why did I do that? Look away, you bastard. Thank you. Hey, Sandshrew. Alright, I think Lick is the best move. I am gonna lose a lot of time if I had to fight that guy. It was quicker to just do the resets. It might be a little unorthodox, but whatever gets me the best time, I'll do it. Here's a little fun fact for you, Perky Penguin. In Generation 2, Poison, Paralysis, and Burn affect your catch rate by 0. Paralysis does not matter on the wild Pokemon, because the catch rate in Gen 2 is very screwed up. People think it's just the Kurt Pokeballs that are messed up. No, the entire catch rate in general is screwed up. It's kind of messed up in Gen 1 too. Not really because of glitches, just because of how it was coded. Like, for example, in Gen 1, a Great Ball at full HP is actually better than an Ultra Ball. Ultra Ball and Pokeball are the same at max HP. Ultra Balls are only better when you lower the health. So for just mass catching things, like just chucking balls everywhere, you want to use Great Balls. Yeah, very few Pokemon in the game have the chance to flee. I think it's leftover remnants from a Safari Zone. Because a few Pokemon were coded with flee mechanics, but not many were. I think it was just a leftover mechanic. But Faulkner specifically is at low enough level that effect power isn't as accurate as an approximation. Okay, I get what you're saying. Alright, gotta make sure we hold on to Lick for the Ghastly. You know what? I just realized. It's a very good thing we have Lick. If this thing did not get Lick, we would have had to use Struggle unless we learned Mud Slap. I forgot to look if we learned Mud Slap. I just looked at Dig, Earthquake, and Punches in return, and I was like, what else do I need? Yeah, it's more than the Legendary Beasts, except the Legendary Beast is a guaranteed. They are a guarantee flee after turn 1. Some random Pokemon have very small flee chances. Most of them actually cannot be found in the wild, like Umbreon actually has a flee chance. Like, if you did a randomizer and you found an Umbreon, it could run away. Alright, just in case. Magnemite? Okay, yeah. How do you start with any Pokemon? I use the Universal Pokemon Randomizer. People use it for just, in general, just randomizing everything. But you can randomize just one Pokemon, make it your starter. Just replace it with the starter you want, and just play. Oh, it would have to use Mudslap? Okay. Alright, I need 9 repels, and probably 3 escape ropes. We're going to be learning Dig pretty soon, so I don't think it'll be necessary. And also, I'm pretty confident we will need yeah, I'm probably going to teach Fire Punch and Ice Punch. Should I teach them right away? No, I'm going to buy them both at once. Dude, stop it. So, I'm wondering if I should go backtrack for the charcoal. No. The charcoal is only needed if you need to buy all the punches. And fun fact, if you need stuff to sell, the Pokeball you pass while doing this is actually a revive. It sells for like $700. Gotta make sure to get Headbutt. I'm not going to replace Scratch because I still want PP. That was actually perfect repel planning. You know, all those many months of doing the crystal backports has really gotten me to be very good at menuing. Alright, since I only have Headbutt right now, there is no reason for me to attempt to face the Magnemite guy right away. Because I don't think the XP that early on is that important. I'm just going to ignore him. Okay, that was a rip-off haircut. My gosh. Oh, I am very good with biking. The thing is, you just gotta use it and just practice with it. That's all you can do. No, don't... Well, no. I was about to go get return, and I'm like, wait a minute, I can't get return yet. What am I doing? Although Ike the Killer's been getting pretty good at it, too. I mean, he still beats us at those backports like 85% of the time. Like, the way he just plays the game is just so much smoother than us. The only way I can ever beat him is when he gets more resets. Dang it. Oh well, people make fun of Irwin because he has a level 2 Voltorb, which I will admit is bad, but he does have a level 10 and a level 15 Voltorb. Those actually give some good XP. I like... You looked like you censored Walt. Technically, this guy's optional, but the thing is you have to walk through 3 patches of grass, and I don't want to do that. And besides, at least he's good XP. this, I do want to teach. I'll teach it over Lear. Lick. $704. That's very good. Alright, so I'm not going to outspeed the mill tank, but I can just use dig on it. Maybe before I use dig, I could use a Lear. I'm going to use 2 Lears. There we go. That was actually kind of risky. In the Mew race, you actually were quick in Overworld, if I remember correctly, with the frame count. Yeah, I was really surprised about that. What I wasn't surprised at was my frame count in battle was 8th place, because I think I was one of the only ones to get Body Slam. But in Overworlding, I was like 500 frames behind Ursaring, which was pretty interesting. Dude, I was facing up. He literally saw me on the turn frame encounter. Like, dude. It actually kind of surprised me that Ike didn't have, like, less overworld movement than I did. I know there's an ether in that grass. I don't like getting it because I usually end up getting 2 wild encounters trying to get it. Bane attack, gross. Well, I guess I probably could have taught over Lear. But like, why do I want it? Zealous Pond is getting closer. I have no idea why Zealous Pond keeps trying Mew. Like, here's the thing. The race is over. Seriously, is Zealous Pond, like, trying to break his own brain again? Like, Mew literally broke so many people during that race. And he just wants to get back into that action? Like, what's wrong with the guy? Doing skill check runs? Yeah, but do skill check runs that don't have shitty Brock fights. Like, do it with a good Pokemon. Do it with, like, I don't know, Mewtwo or something. That save might have been unnecessary. Oh, wait, yeah, it was unnecessary. I outspeed the Haunter. Oh, wait, no, I don't. Okay, I take it back. That save was necessary. I should be fine. Uh-oh. Wow. Maybe I just need to use 2 headbutts. Oh, dude. Dude. I hate the... Why did this happen? Like, that one speed is causing massive problems. I'm close to starting over. I'll start over if I don't win this attempt right here. I'm starting over. Fuck. Alright, the stat should still be frozen. Okay. Dude, that is the worst feeling. You're 1 speed slower, and that's the difference between life and death. Oh, the Croconaw rival is definitely the easiest, just because the Croconaw is so bad. But I just always replace the same starter. I don't want to think about, like, oh, who's the hardest, who's the easiest. I just do the same one. Whether it's easy or not just depends on the Pokemon. The 2 Ember crits wasn't the issue. It was the underspeed. Smash Math, I did do the Kimono Girls. Did you not see it? Well, it was only 17 minutes. Whatever. Maybe I'll improve with cut users. Oh no, I don't always do the easiest one. That's Van Man. Back when he was doing runs. I always replaced the grass starter. I've had that rule for like 4 years. Even with my first ever attempt at doing a solo run challenge. Like, I have a couple of legacy videos on my channel that I just made public. They were videos I had privated for years. Like, I think it was in the second video where I talked about always replacing the grass starter. I've just had that for so long. But anyway, take 2. Alright, so I guess level 25. I mean, hopefully I get better encounters. If I get better luck with encounters, I'll be fine. So yeah, I'll just need to remember 25 for the rival. I've tempted to face the Charizard team Fire and Leaf Green with Magikarp since Arcanine has extreme speed. You know that whole thing, like I said earlier about replacing the grass starter? It happened to be convenient when I did Leaf Green with Ditto a few months ago. The Charizard team ended up being the easiest because there was only 1 Intimidate user instead of 2. But I think technically the hardest rival team, probably it would have had to have been one with both Gyarados and Arcanine. It would have had to have been the Venusaur team. I mean, not like it would have mattered. The champion was still improbable to impossible. Like, the champion basically needs like 1 in 10,000 odds. Why do you keep trying to make Magikarp work? I think my restream chat disconnected. Okay, it's connected again. Honestly, if you were to do something in Emerald, it would need to have 2 different tiers. Beat Wallace and beat Steven. Like, I think when I did Emerald with Modern Ditto, I believe Wallace was possible. Like, you can beat Wallace, you just can't beat Steven. I'm just trying to think of, like, what the next game I should do with Modern Weedle is. It would probably have to be Fire Red and Leaf Green. But I don't wanna do it. Maybe I should have fought youngster Joey. No, trainers in the later section of the game are always better. So I'll ignore him. Well, I believe Axew already did a bunch of the ranges for fun. I'm pretty sure the champion is improbable, but I would still like to actually, like, just see how far it can get on its own. One thing that would suck is that Electro Web deals special damage, but there is no way of getting special attack EVs before Brock. I think the earliest opportunity you could grind for special attack EVs is literally Wild Abra, which would be so horrific. Like, I really don't want to do it. You know what, let's give Fury Swipes another try. 4 tries. Alright, no need to heal. I have plenty of scratch PP. Alright, I will go ahead and fight this guy for the experience. Kinda wonder if I should fight Gordon, too. Nah. Dang it. Dude, whenever the spinners in this game face the complete opposite direction from you, that's your best opportunity to pass them, but it's not foolproof. Nope, I don't have a cut user yet. Thankfully predictable, yep. Oh my god, dude, where is the Sandshrew? Look away. Bastard. That was really close. There we are. Really? Dude. Thank you. And thankfully, or I guess unthankfully, since I didn't get the Sandshrew until the very end of the cave, that does give me 1 extra repel. Like, I could theoretically use it in Slowpoke well, but your odds of getting the encounter in here are kinda low. Also, just want to let you guys know, I have not used a center once. I think my berry just activated. Turn frame encounter. Hey, I got tail whipped. Wouldn't that give me a badge boost? Oh wait, wrong game. Whoops. Okay, 2 encounters in here is pretty unlucky. Alright, whenever I get sent here, I always get the lure ball from Kurt. It helps with catching Krabby. And here's a fun fact. I've learned this through the catch rate calculator on dragonflies, Cave of Dragonflies. If you have Krabby via fishing rod, a lure ball at full HP is the equivalent of a pokeball. Lure ball is only good when you damage it, which is very annoying. And the Great Ball is the same as the Pokeball at full HP. Like, literally no matter what Pokeball you use, catching the Krabby at full HP is always the same odds. I don't know about Ultra Ball, but you can't get him at that point. So you pretty much always have to damage it somehow. So in my runs, I've even the backports, I've tended to notice it's always a good idea to keep one weak move on your moveset. Alright, I'm just going to save here in case the Scyther goes horribly wrong. I kind of wonder if I should use a Leer. Yeah, I'll use one Leer. Crit. I knew it. I get the feeling I would have survived that at like 2 HP if it did not crit. I think I'll skip the Leer. Yeah. To be fair, I think I would have survived that. I was at pretty high HP. Oh no, I've been spited. You know, that's the one thing Lick should get credit for, is for any Pokemon that have to start with Lick, it has so many power points, Spite doesn't really mean anything if you get put to sleep. Yeah, I tend to skip Gordon as well. I mean, I try to skip most spinners unless I'm playing something bad. So yeah, I think with Whitney, using 2 Leers was pretty greedy. I think just use 1 Leer, because I was letting Rollout build up way too much. Okay, that was pretty dumb. I hate how this guy sees you from so far. Did he give good XP, at least? Not really. Just dancing around the stairs. +3. Alright, so I think I should just fight all the spinners here. And also that Sandshrew stole some of my XP. Also, it was pretty funny with Scott's Wobbuffet video, slight spoilers. But he only was willing to do 1 playthrough for it, even though he did like 3 Ditto runs. Which is pretty funny. Teach Headbutt? Oh shoot, thanks for the reminder. My bad. Before Walt. Well, a little too late for that. I do know one very good trainer here. I'll fight him while getting dig. Yeah, right, you guy. Uh-oh. If I had gotten a blackout there because of a 10% confuse, I would have been so mad. I didn't know there were Nidoran here. You know, there's actually a chance I might be able to get returned before leaving. But I won't teach it right away. Return isn't better than Headbutt until 170 friendship has passed. Alright, so I think for the Miltank, like I said, 2 Leers was too greedy. Let's just do 1 Leer. 1 Leer with dig. There we go. You know, I theoretically could have taught Feint Attack over Leer for the weak Ghastlies in Morty's gym, but I'll just use an Ether on dig. Not a big deal. Also, I remember thinking during Scott's Wobbuffet run, would it have been the best to have maximum attack and speed and as high of HP as possible, but have 0 in your defensive stats? Like 0 special, 0 defense, as high as you can in everything else? I mean, I don't know what HP stat you'll have with 15 attack, 15 speed, 0 defense, 0 special. I don't know what HP stat that would give you, but can't be that bad. I don't know what Scott set his stats to, but I'm pretty confident they were set to maximum. I mean, I don't think Scott has a rule where he's forced to use maximum stats. Like, you have to run 15 at everything unless you want a specific hidden power. I don't think he has a rule against that. Like theoretically, with an all-special attacker, you should run, like, as low of attack as possible, so that way you don't hit yourself in confusion for much. You'd want 1 in the defenses. Okay, yeah, so you'll have to do that. Whoops. Alright, the Haunter has 48 speed. I'm gonna do something really quick. I'm just gonna go ahead and do the Lighthouse first. It doesn't fully support custom DVs. Oh, okay. So they were probably maximum then. You could just edit the DVs directly in Pokebyte. Dude, go away, Magikarp. You know what? I should have killed it since Smash was here. Okay. Scratch. No, I'm not leaving. You know, there was a time I was trying to fish up a Krabby. I fished up 5 other Pokemon, including 2 of the same 10% encounter. I think it was Staryu because I was playing during the day, before I found a Krabby, which was insane. Krabby's like a 55% encounter there. Yeah, I do know it's slightly inefficient to do the Lighthouse first before Morty, but I do not want to fight the rival while underspeeding the Haunter. Corsola can learn all the Water HMs plus Strength? Huh. So that's honestly one of the few advantages to playing at night. I did not think of that. I don't know what the catch rate is like, though. That's something to be figured out later. I think I still have a repel up. No, I do not. Alright, since I know for sure I outspeed the Haunter, there's 0 risk. If you skip the Ecruteak Center, the Olivine Center and backtracking isn't too terrible. I don't like backtracking from Olivine to Ecruteak, because if you fought the rightmost Pokefan instead, then you'll have to fight the left one. So you'd have to fight the left one if you plan to backtrack. I just don't like doing it. Alright, so I am going to have to use up all my digs here. I probably should have taught Feint Attack over Leer. But it's not a big deal, though. I'll just use an Ether on dig. It is some decent friendship, yeah. I mean, all the Pokemon start at 70 friendship. So I technically could go get Return, but I want to wait till I get Fly. And I'll teach it over Scratch. Alright, so I will outspeed the Ghastly, and I believe... Yeah, okay, yeah. I think his second Haunter is 53 speed, but the second Haunter is not that good. The only thing you really have to worry about is the Ghastly and the first Haunter, because those are the ones with Curse. If you get put to sleep with Gengar, just reset. I could have theoretically gotten the Mint Berry, but it's a 45% chance he even puts you to sleep. I mean, I may as well get Dream Metered while I'm at full HP. Or while he's at full HP. Rest, gross. I don't want it right now. No, I don't want to teach Strength. Aw, seriously? It was like 2 tiles of water. Alright, I'm gonna heal here. My PP's pretty bad. Alright, what speed does the Poliwrath have? I know it's slower than his Primeape. I know that. I think the Primeape is 63 speed and the or it's 51. I was gonna say, I think the Primeape was like 63 and the Poliwrath was 55. That was my guess. But his first Primeape isn't really that great. It likes to use Leer or Fury Swipes. It almost never uses Karate Chop. And I'm quite confident that the Poliwrath is just going to use Dynamic Punch. I think that's all it's going to use. I should probably use some digs. Yeah, I need to preserve some headbutts. Oh, I speed tie. Oh, that was nice. Uh-oh. Well, not much you can really do about that. Scratch does the same as dig if neutral. That's a good point. There we go. Oh, right. I for some reason thought my left center heel was Ekritik. Wait, no, I don't need hidden power. Well, do I want the candy? No. I only need level 70. I'm pretty sure Scott got all the candies for his second playthrough and he was 73. I'm pretty sure I can skip Lake of Rage candy. If I need it, I can always backtrack for it. Alright, I'm gonna headbutt the Drowsy and scratch the Zubat. Yeah, this is a far better run than my last run. Yeah, that is a good point. If you don't need hidden power, then the candy is very out of the way. It's kind of the equivalent of like the Mount Mortar waterfall candy. But like if hidden power is needed, then it's kind of on your way. Got this nugget. Alright, remember, use the 2 overworld proteins. A little better than Mount Mortar if obtained before a rocket hideout. Worse because of the optional... Oh yeah, you're right. I forgot the trainer that's there. Honestly, I'll skip that candy. Should I get Whirl Islands? No, I am not good at the Whirl Islands candy. I'd have to literally be staring at a map. Yeah, I'm gonna skip that candy. I'll get every other candy, and we'll see how it goes. Man, Black and White 1 has one of the best credits ending themes in all of Pokemon. I think it's better than the Black 2 White 2 credits theme. I think the one in Black 2 White 2 isn't that great. Yeah, I know Scott has, but he always is pretty slow. Like, I always like trying to find the quickest path through dark areas, but the problem is with Whirl Islands getting that candy, you have to do some blind movements. And you're always just going to end up slow because of it. But with Rock Tunnel, you can always bump into walls. There's very few, like, what's the phrase? Like manual adjustments. You almost always bump into walls. But thing is, in the Whirl Islands, there's ledges involved too. Like, I remember I have attempted to learn, but I forgot. Alright, I'm gonna heal up here. I'm almost out of headbutts. I know I shouldn't save before this, but you never know if he's gonna freeze you with Blizzard. Rock Tunnel is not that hard to learn, actually. You just have to know, like, what directions to go and when. It does take a bit of practice, though, but I used to do speedruns of Pokemon Gold any percent glitchless back in the day, and you kind of had to learn Rock Tunnel. Hey, it's nighttime. But then again, if you struggle going through the one dark room of Mount Silver Cave, you probably shouldn't even try it. Like, it doesn't save you, like, that much time, to the point where, like, you're required to learn it. It's kind of like the whole thing of, like, should you get the radio card before or after the rockets? Oh. May as well go get the... I was gonna go get Return and Ice Punch, but I may as well just get this rare candy too first. I'm gonna go ahead and get the PP up for Return. Plus, there's also a nugget here I can get. Alright, so 1 Ice Punch and 1 Fire Punch. Alright, Fire Punch in the place of Leer. I think it will two-shot the Steelix. Yep, two-shot. There we go. Yeah, Mount Silver isn't that bad. You do have to do some manual movements, but it's one room. And there's no ledges involved. I don't know why, but it's the ledges that always scare me. I was about to teach Return, but I'm going to do the optimal thing. I'm going to use up all my headbutts, and then teach Return in the place of Scratch. Well, normally it's Return in the place of Headbutt. But the question is, what's my next move going to be? I'm trying to think of the Dragonairs. Normally it's Ice Punch with Nevermelt Ice, but in this instance, I'm pretty sure Return with Pink Bow is going to be better because of our higher attack stat. So what's our other move going to be? Like Headbutt, Return, Dig, and Fire Punch. I technically don't need Ice Punch until Lance, effectively. I'm trying to think, like, how long can I hold on to Headbutt? Be fair, Headbutt's not going to be completely useful from here on out. Clefable's basically the only normal type that prefers 2 times effective coverage over Return. That's true, yeah, its special attack is much greater. What am I doing, dude? Fire punch. I'll just get rid of headbutt. Question is, does return one-shot the coughings? Because they are very defensive. They do, okay. Let's see. I don't know if return is better than dig. I'm gonna assume it is. Return? Okay. Dude, that's something I really should put on my overlay. Like, I should find a spot on this overlay here. I not only need to find a spot for my hidden power typing, but returns effective power. Thing is, I'd have to find a spot for it. And with how big the gameplay screen is for this overlay, it's kind of difficult to find a spot for it. Like, I would probably have to shrink the size of the webcam, which behind it is, like, the Pokeball image and the image of the Pokemon that the run is being based on. I would probably need to shrink that, and maybe, like, underneath the blackout and reset boxes, I could probably put down, like, a small little box for hidden power, and another box for returns effective power. And I'm just thinking, like, should I code it to take into account Whitney's badge boost? I think I should. Yeah, I absolutely should. Like, why would you not include Whitney's boost? But to be fair, you may as well say, well, why not calculate the effective power of all your moves? I just think it's a lot of work. Because you would effectively need to have a JSON file like containing all of the moves' power in the game, and just have it look at Pokebite. Do but return the same spot as friendship? You know what? That's probably a good idea. Maybe I could get rid of the text held item, and like on the other side, put like a circle, and I'll just have like a red circle, and that'll just be like returns effective power. I don't know. I feel like it needs to be there. Dude, the Gen 3 and Gen 4 overlays are a lot easier to fit stuff in because the gameplay is a rectangle, not a square. Like, square overlays are very hard to fit stuff in. Maybe I could display the friendship like a fraction? Like 216 over 87? I could probably have it display as a fraction, but I'd probably need to make the heart bigger. I don't know, that would just be very small. Maybe there's something on the overlay that's just not necessary. Okay, I better just go buy calcium right now. Alright, so I just need 5 calcium, and I'll just get the rest in protein. I'm thinking shrink the friendship number a little and put the power under it. Yeah, I think so. I think the fact it's in a heart kind of makes it harder to fit things. But I just think it looks so good, like you just know what it is. But yeah, that might just have to be the plan. I just worry it might get hard for some people to read. Or better yet, here, let me hide my camera. That Decidui is just an example picture I have. But what I was thinking is maybe shrink the Pokeball a little bit and maybe have like a circle next to it that shows like returns effective power, and I can just put it in a little white bubble with a black border. That's what I'm thinking. But I think it would work for a stream. I would just have to trim my camera size. But I think that would work. I'll need this. I need pink bow. And maybe like near like underneath that Pokeball image, I could have a box for returns effective power, and then I could have one for hidden powers typing. Yeah, I'll need to, I think just later tonight, I'll need to make an experimental thing in some image editing software and just see how it looks. Alright, I'm gonna fight this guy real quick. This guy has the same level Dragonair as Claire, and it can help be a sneak peek. Well, I crit it anyway. Okay. I'm gonna not save. I'm not doing it. Dude, another crit. Typing in possibly the power if it isn't 70 for whatever reason. Yeah, that's just what I'm thinking. Spot for returns effective power, and a spot for the hidden power typing, because my Gen 3 and Gen 4 overlays have hidden power typing on them. Gen 2 needs to have hidden power on the overlay. You know what? Let's just go ahead and use the last calcium. I didn't quite catch that. I'm pretty sure you can still get the Dratini if you answer it wrong. I think the thing is, if you answer one of the questions wrong, the Dratini won't have extreme speed. Yeah. Alright, I need to get Mount Mortar candy. I could theoretically get the PP up that's down that ladder, but it's pretty out of the way. But yeah, I'm just skipping the Lake of Rage candy, but I did get the other candies. Well, I did skip, Whirl Islands. Alright, gotta get Earthquake. I should probably teach Ice Punch right now. Also, I don't think I have to ever use an escape rope or dig inside of Kanto, so I think that's the last spot I ever need dig, so that's fine. Also, I'm pretty confident I outspeed everything on Will's team, because I think his fastest Pokemon is like 92 speed. So I think I should equip Pink Bow. Yeah, I think I should. Correct, unless you need to leave Mount Silver. Exactly, yeah, but that's like an emergency thing. Oh, 91 speed. 93. Okay, so I was one off. 95. Oh, if it is 95, I just leveled up. Okay, it is 95. Dude, that was perfect. That was so freaking perfect. And guess what? We still have Fire Punch for Fortress. I don't know. Venomoth is a bug steel type. I probably should have used Fire Punch on that too. I'll remember for next time. Alright, Bruno, man. I think everything should be a one-shot except the Machamp. Yeah, Golbat and Crobat are very defensive. It's kind of surprising to me sometimes. Good job, Bruno. That was actually the best thing you could have done. Wow, I actually one-shot the Machamp? Damn, I was not expecting that. Alright, use the HP up to reduce the chance of Sand Attack from 95 to 66%. There we go. I probably should have used return. I don't know why I did that. Curse. Yeah, I'm fine. Oh. You know what? That was 100% the calciums I got. If I did not buy calcium, I would have been dead. I think I'm a lower level than what was originally in the RBY XP router. They probably assumed I would fight more spinners, but I think we'll be fine. I did get extra calcium. Wait, no, I only got one extra. Why did I... Dude. I'm just gonna reset that. That was completely my fault. That was completely my fault. I misclicked and went for return instead of Ice Punch. My bad. Okay, that does not look like a one-shot at all. I think I'm just too low of a level for that. In that case, it might have been better to go Quick Claw. Yeah, the calcs were at 55, so I think the generic route assumed I'd fight more spinners. But still, the calciums did help, because I would not have survived that Houndoom if it weren't for the calcium. You know what? I think Quick Claw might be the better item than Pink Bow here. I would really like to do it. Like, if Scott ever did host another race, it really should be in Crystal version. But maybe to make it more interesting, you should, like, ban the move Curse and Hidden Power. Because I think I'd be pretty good at it. Dang it. It's almost impossible to avoid that guy. I think the repel just ran out on the same tile as the surf thing. And to be fair, I don't think I need leftovers. Because I might want to use Quick Claw for red instead. But I'm just going to get them just in case. Nice to know I outspeed that thing. 'Cause it might have hit me with Leech Seed of all things. Yay, no spinners. Let's go. Alright, so... Okay, yeah, that thing's... Oh, got the Quick Claw. Nice. That would have hit me with Sand Attack. Can I get it again? Nice, just had to ask. Yep, Quick Claw was definitely the better item for Kanto. Also, I'm pretty sure that this route has the single highest cluster of mandatory trainers in the entire Kanto region. What do you guys think? Is there another place in Kanto with this many trainers? Okay, gym leader, Matt. Really, is there another place in Kanto with more trainers than this? Remember, it's single highest cluster of mandatory trainers, not trainers in general. Like, mandatory. I mean, Erica's gym has the most amount of mandatory gym trainers out of all the Kanto gyms. I think Misty, you can skip them. Surge, you can skip them. Janine, you can skip them. Sabrina, they're spinners. Blaine has no trainers. Blue has no trainers. So essentially, Erica has the most amount of trainers, and Brock has one mandatory trainer. I mean, yeah, mention Erica's gym as, like, high cluster of mandatory trainers, but that Nugget Bridge route just had a lot more of them. I've never played Let's Go Versions Kanto. Maybe is there more trainers? I wouldn't actually know. Oh, yeah, wait. Surge? You sure? No, wait. Yeah, you're right. The, gentleman. Yeah, I guess Surge and Brock are tied. Wagsire. Any YouTube members pay the toll. Yeah, the Electro guy does get very good XP. That's like 1,000 each, but most Pokemon in Kanto do not need XP this late in the game, so I kind of stopped fighting him. There you go, Boss KO. You know, Boss KO, you missed it last time, so you better not disappoint him again. I used to with Mewtwo before I went Psych Up. What did Psych Up have to do with it? Alright, so I think the Electrodes have, like, really high speed. Allows for Pink Bow and therefore a lower level. No, Dynamic Punch is not the plan. The plan is to use one curse. One curse with, or two curses with return. Yeah, one curse just isn't enough, sadly. I know, can't help because of work and the fact I got more responsibilities than before. Dang. Sorry to hear that. Maybe you should have the Quagsire toll paid ahead of time. I'm just kidding. Oh, ah, that hurt. I messed up my movement. At least he's good XP. I only end up fighting that guy at this point if I accidentally miss the tree. Also, I'm not going to bother healing at the center or using an elixir right now, because I only need one earthquake for Blaine, and that's for the mid-cargo. Early quag tolls only work when I know you're gonna fight one. It's hard to please the almighty Quagsire. Yeah, I think my original prediction stood pretty well. I knew this thing was not going to be Kadabra, because it did have to rely on some bad moves in the early game, like Scratch. But this thing is going to probably get like second place. The second place is Suicune with a 111. This should definitely be Suicune. And that was Suicune's third run. Suicune's just not a good Pokemon to play with. I mean, it's great for a Pokemon in general, but for a Legendary, it's not great. Alright, I'm going to use an elixir here. I think I'm going to use leftovers here. Alright, after this, after I talk to Oak, I will need to get Curse and the TM for Protect. Oh no, not Reflect. Hopefully a Rhydon. There we go. I mean, at least it stalls out the Reflect. I've been seated, guys. Because of the rain, it used extreme speed. Suicune's better than Raikou. Oh, yeah. Out of the 3 Johto beasts, Suicune is the highest ranked on my leaderboard. Raikou is at second place. It's got a 119 after its second playthrough. Oops. Alright, I'm gonna heal at the Mount Silver Center because I want the rare candy. Will I have enough candies? Yeah, I will. That'll be 8. Oh, that is perfect. Skipping that Lake of Rage candy was perfect. I'm gonna have exactly enough candies. Oh my gosh. Oh my... Dude, come on. I'm trying to be fast here. Alright. So I need to keep return. Let's see. Curse. Rest. And protect. And Quick Claw. And use all 8 candies to get to level 70. Alright guys, let's do this. Alright, so Pikachu's good. Wait, protect first. Hey, nice. Thunder Miss. Alright. Okay, it wasn't going to be a one-shot with that, but hey, Quick Claw. Okay, dude, this is literally so perfect. I just need 2 curses. Sweep. Oh, yeah, the Reflect was still up. That thing is gonna Sunny Day. Yep. I should still... I think I should still survive. Oh my god. Come on, Quick Claw. Oh, dude, that would have been so good. Be fair, it was kind of annoying that Espeon went Reflect. Maybe I should have used another curse just to stall out the Reflect. Dude. That Snorlax always crits. I swear, it always does. Nice Quick Claw. Special defense drop. Okay, that's bad. I think I'm going to use a quick rest, actually. Fun fact, Snore has a flinch chance. The Quick Claw actually would have been preferable on Venusaur. Uh-oh. Yep, that special defense drop 100% killed me. And funnily enough, with the sun up, Blastoise would have gone for Rain Dance, most likely. Dude, can I just get a Quick Claw on the Espeon? Prevent that from happening? Yeah. No matter what you do, red is just luck dependent. You guys still confident on voting the under? There we go. That Reflects frickin' pissed me off. Oh, after the 2 curses, I still outspeed Snorlax. Sunny Day. Alright, I need a Quick Claw on the Blastoise. Yes! There we go. 109.41. 7 resets, 0 blackouts, level 71. Game time 4 hours, 18 minutes. You don't? It was the Quick Claw? Oh. But yeah, all that planning was perfect. This was a very good run. I'm actually quite proud of it. Like, all of that time, like, we spent, like, planning, oh, exactly level 70. You know what? I could skip Blink of Rage candy. It ended up being perfect. I had exactly enough rare candies, exact amount of experience, too. And, I was under-leveled for Lance, so I feel like the calcium only really mattered for the Houndoom. And extra protein wouldn't have mattered much. Anyway, let's go ahead and put this on the leaderboard. And the defense on red. Yeah, the worst part about that was literally the Espeon using Reflect. Because it made the Snorlax take more time to knock out, but to be fair, now that I look back at it, I think the worst part, you need a Quick Claw on either Venusaur, Charizard, or Blastoise. If you get undersped all 3 times, you lose. Because leftovers might have helped. I don't know. You saw how much Flamethrower in the sun did to Charizard, right? The question is leftovers going to help you survive a sunny day followed by Flamethrower? Then it would probably be Rain Dance, but if you're at a low enough level, if you're at low enough health, it's going to go for Surf. Like, I don't think so. So I think the Quick Claw just has higher upside. Because you one-shot the rest of those. Venusaur doesn't always go for Sunny Day. We'd have to look at the ranges. But good thing I had a root file. But I did not once see it go for Solar Beam. I know in general it could go for Solar Beam, but with this thing... Alright, let me go ahead and put this on the leaderboard, then we'll take a look at the root file. Alright, let's see, we were level 71, 7 resets, real time of 1 hour, 9 minutes, and 41 seconds. Game time of 4 hours, 18 minutes. Alright, so if we take a look at the leaderboard here, second place. Dude, I barely got the under. Well, at least 67% of you guys had faith in me. Let's see, what were the rest? No one thought it was going to be over 113. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, let's take a look at the root file now. Cancel the recording. You know, Smash, I think the only way to end that joke is to pretend it doesn't exist. Like, I think the fact of trying to censor yourself is what contributes to the joke. That's just what I'm thinking. Okay, so here's the root file. Solar Beam, 43 to 51%. From what I have heard, the only time Venusaur goes for Solar Beam instead is when a maximum range Solar Beam can one-shot you. But, like, if Solar Beam does less than half, it's never going to go for it first. It's going to go for Sunny Day. Because it views it as the setup move. It's kind of like the same thing with Blastoise here. Let me hide this. It's like the same thing with Blastoise. Like, if a max roll Surf can or Blizzard can kill you, it will go for those. But basically, being able to survive a sun-boosted Flamethrower, as well as whatever the Blastoise does to you, I feel it just... Quick Claw just has the higher upside, and there's not all the constant turns of, oh, you healed a little bit with leftovers. I think if I was setting up to +6, it might have helped, but I don't know. You know what? Let me go ahead and save this. Let's take a look at Scott's run. Let's look at his
That's how
run
it goes
from...
for Sunny Day, then the Charizard will deal between 54 and 64% damage. In this fight, I'm
Yep,
playing
we
well.
got a
plus
faster
red
run
is
time than
not.
he
Goes
did.
for Solar Beam on Venusaur, so Charizard does less damage. I finish it off, and with higher health, the Blastoise is not looking for the KO right away, so it sets up Rain Dance, and Ursaring defeats it, clocking in with a final time of 1 hour.
And remember, I don't do things like manip out encounters. So I had access to all those wild encounters and I still beat that time. To be fair, it is 2 years old, but I've searched his channel. He hasn't done a re-rank since. But I'm sure if Scott came back, he would destroy that time. But I don't usually like comparing my run times to like Scott's or Gym Leader Matt's because they do their runs differently than I do. But it's always a fun thing to look at. But anyway, thank you all for stopping by, everyone. I do appreciate it. It was nice that this was a shorter stream. And tomorrow will be the final Pokemon Emerald video with Deoxys normal versus Deoxys speed. And if you guys are going to ask, no, I had no idea Scott was going to do it too for Daily December. That was just a coincidence. Besides, I recorded those runs back in like August or something. And they only had one playthrough. But the results from Scott's video were kind of what I expected for a first playthrough. But the second playthrough results were not what I was expecting. But anyway, I will see you all later.